Alright, welcome to this video. This is InkTober Day 2. I spent about an hour on a digital sketch and printed it out. And now I guess you would call it gray lining over onto the paper using a diluted ink mixture. Could have just used pencil for the stage, I guess, to get the image onto my paper, but I don't know. I like the idea that for these InkTober sketches, there's nothing on the page but ink. You can constantly see the light kind of like turning on and off the overhead desk lights. I angle them away from the image when I want to see the light shining through from the light box, and when I want to see the paper on top, I just angle the lights back, kind of modulate the light as I need, depending on how much of the digital sketch underneath I want to see, and how much of the top sketch I want to see. I'm drawing these on vellum, or we call it Bristol board, Bristol vellum. What is it? Let me tell you for real. Strathmore Bristol vellum surface, and they're meant for dry media, but it can definitely handle ink as long as I don't go crazy with the washes. By the end, there's hardly any curl to the paper, just a little. It's totally acceptable, an acceptable amount. The sketch I did on the first day of the month, rather than gray lining, I went straight to black line, and I find this technique much more agreeable with me. There I am making the water mixture, ink mixture again. It lets me choose after the fact if I want to leave some of the lines gray. Good for if I had more elements in the background, I could have left them gray and it would have looked like atmospheric perspective. Or in my case, I just kind of tried to fade out the orc character towards the bottom, so I didn't go straight to black at the very bottom of the image. Once I finish this gray lining stage, I'll get rid of that light box and hopefully we'll be able to see what I'm working on a little more easily. I think I spent about 2 hours on the inking. I'm trying to do these relatively quick because I don't have a ton of time for it. Just washing my brush periodically. Yeah, now I'm going in and making a slightly darker pass. It's not straight black yet, but it's about halfway between the light wash and black. Reinforcing some of the shadowy areas, deciding what I want to leave light gray and what to darken. I got my phone out because one of my viewers, I was streaming this on Twitch, insisted I take some pics for Instagram, but we'll see. It's not like my digital work where it takes days and days to complete. Don't need to tease my Instagram followers with process images when the final's already done. A couple of things I wish I could change, there's a couple of don't like her elbow very much. The folds in her leather armor aren't the best, but these are meant to be quick sketches, and that's definitely good enough to live with. The desk is angled, and you can see me there struggling with gravity as the water and ink pool towards the bottom sometimes, if I'm not careful. Here I am starting the line layer. The ink I have is pretty old and a little bit thicker than I think it would be if you bought a new bottle of it. And it dries up in my palette fairly quickly, so every single time my brush leaves the paper, I'm dipping it in water and adding a little water to it each time. But it's still black ink, I'm just making it flow better. And I have that little piece of paper underneath the palette there. I'm often just getting a little bit of the ink off my brush if it's too much, or checking the tone of the wash. What's the ink I'm using? I'm just showing it to someone who's watching on Twitch. Daler Brownie FW acrylic artist ink. It's not 100% waterproof, as in a couple of times I added washes over top of the line and lifted the line a little bit, but it's not too bad. All it takes is to go back over and reinforce those lines at the end. Yeah, this is day 2 of Inktober, and I'm still debating whether or not I can keep up this pace for the whole month. I probably spent about 3 or 3.5 hours on this thing in total, which is fine, but I got commissions to get through and an illustration or two. I think in a future one I definitely want to just try black and white, as in no washes, or I use lots of deep shadowy areas. I think that'll be fun. Maybe even try some pen nibs. Not do everything with a brush. That could be fun too. Yeah, I just poured out a little more ink because the other pot of it was getting a little dried up and gunky. I just ordered a brand new bottle of black ink, so maybe I'll try that for the next one and see if it flows better. But I don't totally mind the thickness of the slightly dried out ink because it dries on the page very quickly, and I didn't accidentally smudge at all, which I quite like. Because my hand is dragging all over the paper. But ended up with a clean drawing, no smudges. Definitely nervous to tackle her face, and I leave a lot of that to the end. You can see me, I don't know if it's annoying, but I'm spinning the paper a whole bunch, and it's just because the best stroke with a brush is like down a little, like your hand goes down, and so I have to spin the paper. You can't push with a brush because you'll make, unless you want to drag the bristles in a messy way, which can look good, but it's not what I'm going for here. I'm going for sharp lines. Cleaning up my brush periodically because it's drying in the bristles quite quickly. Yeah, almost done here. Just adding a few more washes to reinforce some of the shading. That's it. Pretty simple process. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.